here today, Susan Morgan, with my dear beloved friend, Aros Crystos, who is in a league of his own. Welcome. Even though it's Aros's show, but I'm going to pepper him with questions because that's how I am. That's not how he is. He will not pepper anybody, but I am not shy.
Good.
Yes. Aros, for our viewers, so you and I have an event on Sunday, 3:00 Hawaiian time, which, what time is that Pacific time? Is there a 2-hour difference?
Yeah, right now it's 8 minutes to 11 here.
Okay, so yeah, we got 2 hours. And that means for people on the East Coast, that would be 5 hours difference, but that's all right. So we are doing something Sunday, 3:00 your time, and called Sonic Codes. So for people who don't have a clue about what that is, could you please tell everyone?
Well, it started over 30 years ago in Hawaii, and being that I've been swimming with dolphins and whales for a long time, these sounds started coming through me when I was doing healing sessions on people. And people said, oh my goodness, this feels so relaxing. It feels so great. So then it just started happening. And it's been through osmosis. It was nothing I sat down to learn or study or anything. And also I'm an award-winning vocalist in 2007 for the most transformational artist of the year. And I won because of these sounds that comes through me. And it's like singing opera, or I mean, it goes very quickly up and down. However, it bypasses the chatter of the mind and goes to the source of your being. And I always like to explain to people, Susan, that when you stand under a waterfall, you're gonna get wet. If you're happy or not so happy or irritated or angry or joyous, either way, you're gonna get wet.
Right.
The same thing here, these sonic codes, it's like a waterfall of vibrations. It doesn't matter what you think or not think, it's still going to do its work, right?
Right.
So we're going to do that, and then the topic is, who am I? And that's a topic that every person on the planet needs to ask themselves. Who am I? I did it when I was 12 years of age in Sweden. And that was my main quest in life, to find out, who am I? What is this life really all about? Because I could see kind of the absurdity of it all.
Yeah.
And so there had to be something deeper and something that has some sort of long lasting meaning, right? So I set out on my quest, and we're going to address that on Sunday. So, and Susan, you know, she's an amazing goddess with so many talents and gifts, and so I'm very honored to do this with her. And her store, Mystic Dreams in Henderson, Las Vegas, I've been there a few times, and you know, it's worth visiting. Not so much of the store, but because of Susan.
Oh, wow.
And she does readings, many readings, because she has this gift from childhood. And so she has, I let her talk about herself more, but she's an amazing and truly goddess being, and I'm very happy and honored to do this with her. So you don't want to miss this, okay? I know people in today's world hate to commit to anything.
This is true. Until the very last minute. I have a class tomorrow night that all of a sudden this morning people are calling in or coming in to sign up for. And I was this close to canceling it. I was almost looking forward to canceling it because I'm working all day tomorrow. But they're all coming in because that's how it is at the last minute. So we just have to be flexible.
Right. But I'm just saying this because don't miss this opportunity. It's 2023, and when you're looking at the chaos in the world, looking what's happening in this country, you don't want to miss an opportunity like this. Don't be foolish.
See what I've got? I didn't show you this. I got myself a fancy watch. Not because I look at the time, but when I put it on every morning, it's to remind me that I have only so much time on this earth. So don't waste it, Susan, wanking around. Like, That's why I wear the watch. And I have a dear friend that came in earlier today. I'll just, he's had 3 losses in his life in the last month and a half since I saw him last. I mean, 2 very dear to him. Well, one is his girlfriend just passed away, just freakishly dropped dead. Okay. And he was the one that saw her. And it obviously has rattled him, but all he can say now is life is so precious. And I used to say this even back east. I remember one woman once said to me, well, Susan, I love all your dream circles in Boston. I was also doing them. And I plan on coming maybe in like in a year and a half or 2 years when I have more free time. And I said, that's a foolish comment because you're assuming I'm going to be here. And even though I had no intention of ever moving out of the Northeast, I did end up moving. And that was it. Like we gotta, things that matter to us, we have to involve ourselves with because time is moving quickly. But before we go, and so people, I'm going to put a sign in link or sign up link underneath this on mine. And then Aros says you can go to Aros.Life, his website, and there's a place to make a payment. But some people were having a little bit of a challenge with that. So I'm going to also put it on, I've got the payment link on my website. So either way, whatever works for you. But probably as much as the sonic codes is fascinating, and it is very fascinating. I've heard him do these sounds that are otherworldly, literally very otherworldly. But you're a walk-in from another planet. And I think we need to raise awareness on that topic as well. And so I'm just wondering, when you were 12 years old, is that when you became aware of the fact that you were a walk-in? Or I think you were younger, actually, weren't you?
I think it was 10 or 11 or something like that. You know, when you're 10 and 11 and you wake up in this body, your conversation with yourself is pretty limited, but I had to trust my intuition. And I felt, I don't know what I felt, but I felt really not at home.
Okay.
And my father, who was very pragmatic and very realistic, he said, "Who are you? You look like us, but who are you?" Because he had sensed some sort of a shift.
Right. And so what was your response? Do you remember what your response was?
I don't think I said anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not a walk-in, but I've said my whole life, if I'm not from the earth, I've always said that, but I mean on a soul level. And if this is what a human being is, when I look at some of the atrocities, I'm not a human being either. Like I'm not lining up with that. Like, are you crazy? No. So maybe when the topic of the thing is, who are you? How about another good answer could be, I have no freaking idea, but I know what I'm not. So
Right, but I know who I am because I've had the experience.
yes,
If
you do know.
you
And
few things.
I don't, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow, but you're from a very specific location that we'll talk about tomorrow. But I'm wondering how you came to the awareness of that specific location.
Well, that has been through my whole life has been like like a quest, and there's always been when I needed to know something, it has popped up in a certain way.
Right.
And this happened sometimes in the 90s when I used to give a lot of talks about dolphins and vibrations and frequencies and channelings and all of that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell more about that tomorrow.
Okay. And also, we're going to close out with, these are the clothes that now, for people I don't know, all his clothes are painted. Like he paints his clothes, he paints his shirts, his pants, but my favorite is he paints his boots. And I always look at your boots and I'm like, how is it that paint's not chipping off? Like, how is the paint not really, literally, how is it not chipping off?
Well, I am surprised that people who loves tattoos.
Yeah.
I have tattooed clothes. It's just I can take them off in the evening, and then I can put them back on in the morning. I
Yeah.
have a choice.
Yeah.
So
They're extraordinary.
yeah, so I was thinking maybe I should call it tattooed clothes because people are so much into tattoos,
Yeah. The first time I saw you, see, this it's supposed to be quick. I gotta make it quicker. First time I saw you, I was leaving my store and you were across the parking lot walking towards me with a friend, a mutual friend.
Right.
And all I saw was a white light all the way, all around you, and these bright clothes. And I stopped in my tracks. I said, Susan, this person's coming to talk to you. I just knew it, right? It was like a wall hit me and I stopped moving as you were smiling, walking towards me. But I'll never forget that because there was white light all around you, with the bright colors. So you're like one of my favorite people. So I look forward to tomorrow or Sunday, rather, Sunday.
Right, right.
And so we'll just see you then, and there'll be payment links underneath this, and we shall have some fun and everybody join in because it's not like we're going to do this again anytime soon, just so that you know. At least my participation, because I got all this stuff going on. All right. So,
Okay.
thank you. See you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Ciao, Bella. Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.
Grazie.